Hey guys, I just wanted to make a video specifically for the wedding industry. Wedding photographers, coordinators, wedding filmmakers, especially since we're wedding filmmakers ourselves. This is crazy. There's so much going on. I mean, it appears, if you read the news, the world is ending. People are in quarantine, the stock market is crashing, you can't even go to your favorite restaurants anymore, and especially if you're in the wedding industry, people are postponing bookings, people are canceling. And as wedding filmmakers ourselves, we know it's crazy because if someone postpones a wedding, it's not as easy as just choosing a different date. Usually they have to postpone it to another busy time of year for you, and it's gnarly. So I want to talk about just the right mindset to have because while the world is freaking out, I think there's a lot better response to have. So first things first, I'm sure a lot of you, if you are in this postponement season where you all of a sudden have a free calendar, there's something kind of cool to think about. It's kind of a slow season now for a lot of you guys. Like I know for me, originally these next few months was gonna be really fast paced and I was actually like, whoa, there's gonna be a lot going on. But now, calendar has kind of been freed up and I now have time, so it's a slow season. Now I know when I was first starting out in wedding filmmaking, I used to dread slow seasons because slow seasons meant lack of financial, income coming in. It was usually a stressful, anxiety-ridden season because I'm like, oh my gosh, when is the next booking gonna come in? I would just sit there refreshing my inbox and it made me go crazy. So I actually, in the first 3 or 5 years of being a wedding filmmaker and in the wedding industry, I would just do everything possible to avoid slow seasons. I would just keep working, even if that wasn't the right thing to do. But what I'm telling you guys is this actually, yes, it's hard. I don't want to diminish the fact that this is crazy for people right now. I know people are losing bookings or losing jobs and not knowing what to do, but it can also be changed with a mindset of, hey, this could actually be a blessing. Slow seasons are awesome because they allow us to recalibrate and work on the things that we wouldn't normally work on. So I want to encourage you guys to embrace the slow season and see it as a slow season, and instead of just constantly refreshing the news feed that I know I have been doing recently that has not been helpful, actually to do things that can be beneficial. So here's a list of things that I think you should focus on that normally would not get your attention. So the first thing is catching up on edits. Just say, man, I have this free time now. I'm gonna structure my days to edit and just fill my days with getting edits done. Because one thing that will just so encourage people is to get a couple's edit early and send it off to them. That'll be so encouraging to them. The next thing is to catch up on education. So I know a lot of us, we're constantly go on the edge of burnout. I'm sure you've bought plenty of online courses or online products or even books that have been in your queue, business books that you've wanted to read. Use this time, please use this time to focus on online education and move yourself to that next level because this will all end soon, and when it does, everyone's gonna be excited and wanting to get back into it, and you wanna be prepared to know what to do next in your business. So even consider investing in education, buying online courses. This is the perfect time to not only support small businesses, but also to invest in yourself, because when the market, everything kind of surges back, which it will, you're gonna be ready. And the other thing is rest. So many of us live at the edge of burnout, burning the candle on both ends. I would implore you, if you have a day where you were shooting a wedding, actually don't do anything. Just rest, just sleep. Our bodies need it. This is a great reminder that we are not in control and we can kind of just let that up. And when we do, we can rest. And that productivity you gain from rest will do amazing things for you. And then another thing to consider is redoing your website. A lot of us never have the time to do it. This would be a great time to rebrand your website. And then the last couple of things is schedule Instagram content, because I know a lot of that kind of gets pushed to the back burner. And then engage with your followers. Like, I know for a lot of people it's hard to comment back on people, but people really need to know that they're loved and cared for during this time. So even go through your followers that have commented or liked your recent Instagram posts and just check in on them. Be like, hey, hope you guys are doing okay, or even do a story about it. You could even just like some of their photos and comment and give encouraging words for some of their work. It will really, really help people. People just need encouragement. So that's the first thing. Just during slow times, see it as a blessing rather than something to be crazy stressed out about. And then this is just a really good thing to remember. I was listening to Dave Ramsey early this morning, and he just said something that I think is super important, is not to overreact. So much of the world is overreacting, and we have a choice. We can overreact or we can underreact, but I think the best place is somewhere in the middle where we're balanced, we're calm, and we can actually help people. And what he was just saying is don't overreact financially, because I know a lot of us in the events industry are financially strained, and so there could be a temptation to do crazy things like shut down our business or pull out all of our retirement savings from our 401k or our IRAs or things like that to pay for, necessities. Don't do that. Like, just avoid overreacting, because this will get better and you don't want to mess up something further down the line when you didn't need to. And so I just want to kind of close with some action steps that I think will be super beneficial for whether you're a wedding photographer, wedding filmmaker, or someone in the event industry, but probably more specifically for wedding filmmakers. So the first thing, if you are currently struggling with income, here's some ideas to increase your revenue. So the first one is, I know a lot of people are postponing and a lot of wedding bookings have dried up just in this month because people are kind of like, I don't know what to do. I'm not going to start planning my wedding right now. But there is still a great opportunity for some income to be made. One is consider running a raw footage sale. So this is a great time to reach out, literally do this, and I think it will help you in this next couple months if you are struggling. Send out an email and say, hey guys, normally our raw footage is this price, but just for this current time, we're cutting it in half. And, give people a deadline like, hey, you can choose to buy the raw footage. You have to let me know by, say, Friday or 7 days from now. Send an initial email that you're doing the sale, then send a follow-up email the day before. Guys, please do this. It will immediately put another $1,000 to $2,000 in your pocket. Trust me. Even though you think people aren't interested in buying because the world's kind of crazy, people will buy, and it can really, really help you. Another email to send out to people is upgrade emails, because there's probably a lot of weddings that you've already even delivered and you've kind of set aside and they're done. But that doesn't mean you can't still help those people and serve them and add value. And one of the things I would recommend is sending an upgrade email. Say, hey, I know you got the 4 to 6 minute highlight, but right now we're running a sale that you can upgrade your film to a 9 to 12 minute or a doc edit or full ceremony and toast for this price. People will jump on it, trust me, especially because we think in our wedding industry, because we may be struggling, everyone else is struggling, and that's not necessarily the case. Some people are doing fine. Some people have jobs where they're government jobs and they're providing for them. They're not at risk with their paycheck and they have money to spend. And they also want to help small businesses. So this is actually a prime time to do upgrades in raw footage because people want to help. So consider sending those 2 emails. That will really help. And another thing is, if you're a filmmaker, so many people are in need of live streaming services. So government agencies, churches, especially small churches, do not know how to broadcast their services online. And we have cameras and we have equipment and we know how to do that. Consider sending out an email, just spending a couple hours and going on Yelp and looking up local churches in your area or local government agencies or businesses and just say, hey, I am a videographer in your region, and I know times are really hard, but I can help you with live streaming. Do you guys need any help? Don't even mention price or anything like that. Just send the email, open the conversation. And again, I just want to mention churches again, because I go to a small church, and for us, we were strapped too. There was no team in place, and if someone had reached out, that would have been awesome, awesome, awesome. So consider small churches. And then a last thing is, you could even reach out to businesses, say, hey, do you need any help with how-to tutorials or educational content? Because a lot of people that are maybe struggling financially, this is a big boom time for them. Like, oh man, I have all this time to work on that course or work on those how-to tutorials that I wanted to do. So reaching out to businesses and asking if they need help with that, because they probably do, will be a great use of the time. So those are a couple action steps revenue wise. And if you guys have any other ideas of ways to make revenue, comment below, because guys, we're all in this together and we need to be helping one another come up with ways to weather this season. And then the next thing, action step that we can do is budgeting. So I know as creatives, sometimes budgeting is a scary word, or we just don't want to be constricted to a budget. But if you are struggling in this time, I massively encourage you to sit down and do a basic budget, because by doing that, you'll actually find the best way to actually make money is to use your current income, because I'm sure you're still getting some income or you still have some money in the bank, and it's to preserve that income. So sit down, do a budget, figure out, hey, is there any way I can save a little bit on groceries? I know Harmony and I just sat down and did that, and we're able to save $200 a month on groceries, and that's awesome. That's going to really help during this time. Just think about, hey, can I save money on, you know, some of the subscriptions and things that I'm paying for, or can I, you know, get a cheaper rate for car insurance? Just anything like that. Sit down, go through your budget. It will massively help. And one app that I recommend that will just make this really easy, because I know budgeting can be insane for a lot of people, it's called Copilot Money. And if you're watching this on YouTube, the link will be in the description for that. It's an insanely helpful app. It'll help you go through your money and your budget and just get you on the right track during this season. And then the next thing is to invest. Like, I know you're probably looking at the stock market and you're just being like, oh, it's bonkers. I can't even imagine investing right now. But it's actually the best time to invest in the stock market. And I'm planning to do so myself, because all the stocks are really, really low right now because of the current world crisis. And so if you invested, you're actually getting these stocks at a discount. And, you know, in 3 or 4 months, things are going to go back to normal, and you're going to get so much better return on those investments, because it's going to actually, it's at a dip right now, but it's going to go back to normal. And I know for a lot of people, investing in stocks is kind of crazy. What I would recommend, if you really want to get in the stock market and you want to invest in something that is just, you know, solid and is not going to have, you know, any fears if you've never done it, is invest in VTSAX, VTSAX from Vanguard. It is actually a total stock market index fund. So when you invest in this index fund is what it's called, and I don't have enough time to go into exactly what index funds are, but when you invest into that, you actually buy a little bit of all the top 3,000 companies in the stock market. So it's a great place to invest right now, and you will see gains because everything will go back to normal. So that could be a whole video in itself, but definitely consider investing if you have the extra cash. And then a couple last things. One is to help other people. I mean, if you are, which I know a lot of us are, a lot of us have an emergency fund, a lot of us have been in business for a while, and this is actually not that hard of a time for us. But when we look out at the world, people are struggling. So first things first, help others and text people like your friends and family. A lot of friends and family or fellow videographers might be alone in a state and they're quarantined. They have no friends, they have no family in the area. And just reaching out to them and saying, just a simple text, how are you guys doing? And just starting the conversation could be the best part of their day. And then also, me and Harmony care tremendously about this industry. We've been in it for 10 plus years. We've seen it go up and down, and we know this is really hard for specifically people in the wedding industry. So what we want to do for you guys, and just thank you so much for staying through this video to this point, is we made a Google Sheet. Now, if you're on YouTube, you can find that Google Sheet in the description or it will pop up. But if you're watching this on Instagram, you can go to our Instagram bio and it will be there as well. And basically what this is, I got this awesome idea from another person that I follow, is go to this Google Sheet, and this will be a public sheet for everyone to see. And if you have a need, if you're really struggling right now, there's going to be a place where you can put your name, what the need is that you're struggling with, and your Venmo account. Put it there, and this sheet is going to be public for everyone in the wedding industry. And what I want to see right now, this is me calling the industry, I want to see everyone who has the means to help support other people in the wedding industry, because we were there. Like, if this were to happen when we were 1 to 2 years into our business, this would have been pretty hard because we didn't have an emergency fund. And I know a lot of people are there. So on this Google Sheet, everyone can go on and see it and see what the needs are, see people's Venmo accounts, and you can send those people money and mark that you sent that money. And this will be a tremendous encouragement. It's going to be public for everyone. So again, if you have a need, go to that Google Sheet, put in your need, put in your Venmo account, and wait for people to help. I know this is going to be an amazing way for the whole industry to come together and help those in need. So check out that Google Sheet. Again, if you have the finances to bless others, check it out and see what needs are on there. And if you're really struggling with anything, put your need there and see what people will do. I think the response will shock you. I'm really excited about what's going to happen with that. And then the last thing is just, I'm a Christian, and so we need to be praying. As a Christian, I believe God is in complete control, so we need to be praying that God will just supernaturally fix all this, meet people's needs, and He will. Nothing surprises God. He is in complete control. A couple verses, I'm just going to read them off really quick, have really, really been encouraging to me during this time. So this is Romans 8:38 through 39. For I am convinced that neither death nor life, nor angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus our Lord. As Christians, if you are a Christian today, God is in control. He is on the throne. And we have the most rich thing we could possibly ask for, and that is the love of Christ for us. He is here for us, He's going to provide for us, and there is no need to be fearful because He is in control. Another verse is Matthew 11:28 through 30. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. For I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Christian, if you are a Christian, come to Jesus. Put all your cares, all your concerns, lay them at His feet, and He will be there for you. He will comfort you. His yoke is easy, and what that means is what He asks of you is just to trust in Him, and He will take care of you. So, wedding industry, our hearts are here for you. I am praying for the whole industry, and we are here for you, and we need to all band together and support one another. So fill out that Google Sheet if you have a need, and if you want to bless others, which I think would be an amazing thing to do, look at that Google Sheet and send some Venmo money to people who really, really need it. All right, guys. Well, here's a quick update from us, and I can't wait to just see how we all respond and how we help others through this.